The NFL has always been a quarterback's league.
Stop it. Stop it. You can't do this.
Football's biggest stars are almost always QBs, and the numbers show it.
Oh, how did he pull that off? Out of this world.
Of the top 10 highest paid players in the NFL, 9 of them are quarterbacks.
You can't escape. You can't make these plays. You can't make these throws.
But recently, there's been a shift. Wide receivers are finally getting their own. In the 2022 offseason, wide receivers had been getting paid. So how the hell did that happen? The number 16 million. That's how. Before we talk about 2022, we need to go back to the 2012 offseason. In 2011, Calvin Johnson was arguably the most dynamic player in the league, with almost 1,700 receiving yards and 16 TDs. He even led the Lions, yes, the Lions, to the playoffs. So when the offseason came around, Johnson signed a 7-year, $113 million contract with Detroit. His annual salary, $16 million. At the time, this was the highest annual salary for a wide receiver in NFL history. But if he got that money today, Johnson's salary would be right in the middle of the pack. In 2022, $16 million would make him only the 22nd highest paid wide receiver, putting him in the same zone as Adam Thielen, Hunter Renfrow, and Robert Woods. Solid players, but not elite superstars by any means. The 2019 offseason is where we really started to see an explosion in salary for receivers, when Julio Jones became the first wide receiver to get $20 million a year. The very next offseason, the Cowboys and Chargers gave Amari Cooper and Keenan Allen $20 million. But who really changed everything? DeAndre Hopkins. D-Hop had a very successful year in 2019, recording a second straight season with over 100 receptions and 1,100 receiving yards. But that offseason, the Texans shipped Hopkins to Arizona. When D-Hop arrived, the Cardinals welcomed him with a bag. More precisely, a $27.25 million annual salary, absolutely blowing the roof off the market for receivers. In 2021, the salary cap dropped 8% from the previous season due to the pandemic. But even with the drop, some nice contracts were given out, including $18 million to Kenny Golladay and over $17.25 million to Tyler Lockett. Nothing close to D-Hop money, though. That all changed in 2022. This offseason, 7 different wide receivers received contracts that will account for over 10% of their team's overall cap. DJ Moore, 3 years, $61.8 million. Stephon Diggs, 4 years, $96 million. Terry McLaurin, 3 years, $71 million. Keep in mind that both Super Bowl 56 participants spent only 8 and 10% of their cap on all their receivers combined. Now, let's look at all the wide receivers that signed $20 million plus annual salaries in the 2022 offseason alone. Mike Williams and Chris Godwin both got $20 million. DJ Moore, Terry McLaurin, and Stephon Diggs each making somewhere between $20.6 million and $24 million. AJ Brown, $25 million. Cooper Kupp, $26.7 million. And of course, Devontae Adams and Tyreek Hill making $28 million or more. Is it worth it though? Does a wide receiver affect the game enough to warrant taking up so much of the salary cap? Because if you're spending real money on 2 or 3 guys, what happens to the rest of your cap space? In 2022, the Bills will be paying Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs a combined $67 million. The Rams will be paying Matt Stafford, Aaron Donald, and Cooper Kupp a combined $98 million. The entire salary cap is just over $208 million. Listen, the Rams won the Super Bowl last year, and the Bills are one of the most exciting teams in the league. If they both can keep winning, all these huge salaries for wide receivers might be worth it. But for teams that aren't winning, that's a whole lot of money to be given out just for L's. Thanks for watching another episode of How the Hell. Who'd your team sign this offseason? How do you feel about it? Let me know in the comments. See you next time.